Hello guys. I'm really sorry about the whole hiatus and the whole erasing of that. First what if Deku was in Fate Grand Order. It was an accident because my mother erased it accidentally because we are technically sharing an account. So yeah, and I'm really sorry about not making a video yesterday because my throat was still recovering from all of my talking. So yeah, sorry about that. So let's begin the video. Hello guys, I'm back from another video and today we talk about what a Deku was in Fate Grand Order. So in the last video, Deku, after, well, being bullied by Bako all of these years because, Bako found out that Izuku had no quirk. And Bako, was a girl in this what if, by the way. So, after all of these, after all of the bullying for like 3 years, Izuku had enough. Actually, his parents had enough. So, they told Izuku that they're gonna be moving away to Germany, which Izuku was happy. But when Bako found out, she was confused, angry, and sad because she didn't actually mean to bully him. So, after Bako was told of this, she tried apologizing to Izuku, but Izuku just ignored it because she doesn't have the right to talk to Izuku. After all, she did bully him. So, after his best friends told him goodbye, Izuku moved away to Germany. After being told by his grandfather and his grandmother that Izuku was a mage, Izuku was amazed of all of the things that mages can do. So, Izuku was told that he's gonna be going to school at the mage school. Not any type of mage school. A mage school that's created by Izuku's great 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 grandfather. Yeah, that's a lot of greats. Anyway, so after getting there, Izuku learned how to use magecraft. Not only that, Izuku learned using well special types of mystic codes. So after that, Izuku learned that he had a friend, and that friend was named Hans Alistair. Hans Alistair was like the second, well, their family is actually the second most powerfulest of all of Germany, mostly because of their talent for using the blade. So they became fast friends, even calling themselves, their brothers in arms. Mostly Izuku and, Alistair, aka Hans. So, after a few years, Izuku was told that he's going to be participating in the Holy Grail War. Izuku is going to be representing the ruler class, which that's what John the Arc represents. So, if you don't know what is the ruler class represents, just search up a video of it. But the gist of it is, they're basically like moderators, the most powerfulest of all of the classes. But actually, their weaknesses are actually the Avenger class. So yeah, being so-called the most powerful class, that's a bit of a disadvantage. So yeah. So wait for a second. So yeah, so after that, Izuku gets ready for the Sixth Holy Grail War. So yeah, so let's talk about what happens next. So Izuku was in class as the teacher arrives. Alright, all of you class, we're gonna be starting off by learning how to use your mystic codes. So, can you show me your mystic codes that you have made? So, Izuku shows off a special mystic code. Sorry about that, I just sneezed. Anyway, Izuku showed off a mystic code that he created. This mystic code is something special. Everybody said this. Whoa, is that an axe? Izuku says this. No, that's not technically an axe. Izuku reveals that's actually a sword. and the axe part is actually its scabbard. Izuku says this. So what do you think? The scabbard part, or should I say the axe part, acts as a manipulator of Earth, while the other one acts as a normal blade, but it's able to be hardened by some strengthening magic. Everybody was impressed, including the teacher, as the teacher says this. You get an A+. Plus. So, how about you, Mr. Hans? As Hans shows off a weapon that's, well, pretty average. It's basically a knife that's able to basically pierce the heart of any mage. He says this. You get an A. After the day has been, well, finished, they started going back home. So, after getting home, Izuku says this. Hey dad. As Izuku's father said this. So, how's your day, Izuku? Izuku says this. Uh, Not really that special. It's just, well, just studying and mostly that. As he says this. Anyway, so, are you getting ready for the Holy Grail War? Because we're going to be starting off the ritual very soon. Maybe like, a week. Izuku says this. Really? A week? Huh. So, Izuku starts going up to his bedroom, which his bedroom is also a workshop. A workshop that Izuku learns how to make mystic codes. Izuku loves making mystic codes and also experimenting on homunculi. If you don't know, homunculi are basically like golems but more humanoid. What do I mean by that? Because most golems look monstrous. Like, for example, the golems that, well, a VC Braun made in, like, Fate Apocrypha. I'm, I mean, and the homunculus part, they're basically just like the homunculuses in, like, Fate Apocrypha. I don't know why, I just love Fate Apocrypha. I mean, it's still like my favorite anime, not gonna lie. No, Fate Apocrypha is like my recently favorite anime, right next to Kill la Kill. Which I may be going to make a what if about, maybe, but maybe not yet. So, Izuku was still getting some, well, ideas. Izuku thought of a great idea, which Izuku starts creating some upgrades to his, well, pistols. Or should I say miniguns? I don't know what to call them. Izuku starts, well, making them. As Izuku finishes them, Izuku says this. Not bad. I mean, it still doesn't have the ability to shoot out anything, but maybe can do something with them very soon. So, Izuku puts them on his holsters on his knees. Izuku starts going off. So, his grandfather recently died. His grandfather died from natural causes. Apparently from, well, wait for a second, heart failure. And his grandmother is still grieving about it. As his grandmother is pretty much sick. Izuku says this. Hello grandmother. Are you okay? As she says this. Oh, my lovely grandchild. Are you okay? How was school? Izuku says this. Oh, it's okay, I guess. As he says this. Please, win this Holy Grail war for me, child. I want to see you happy. Just wish for anything that you want. After all, you did deserve it. I'm still an old hag. Izuku says this. Okay, grandmother. So, Izuku starts, well, getting ready for the ritual soon, which will give him the ability of the ruler class. So, let us explain about this Holy Grail War, okay? Good. So, this Holy Grail War, it's a bit different. This Holy Grail War almost acts as, well, similarly to like Fate, Prisma Iliad, where people gain the power of the class in general. Like for example, one of them would have the powers of the ruler class, or another would have the ability to use powers of um the powers of the archer class, for example. So for Izuku's case, he gains the power of the ruler class. Maybe because wait until you see the next part. Okay? Good. So Izuku was looking around, finding out who are these people that are going to be participating in this Holy Grail War. One of these people is Hans Alistair. Apparently, he's going to be joining this Holy Grail War as the representative of the Saber class. Makes sense because his family specializes in, well, wielding swords. So, yeah, wait for a second. So, Izuku, after learning that Hans is going to be participating in the Holy Grail War, Izuku was, well, not really minding it. Because, well, you can either kill a person or, well, getting their crest. The way to defeat a person is by killing them or getting their crest. I meant their crest. Like on their arm. Just like in Fate, well, any Fate like series that's special that uses, well, the normal format of like using servants. So they basically absorb the crest and basically defeat the person. Basically. So Izuku is basically getting ready. A few, well, days go by, as is the day where he gets ready for the ritual, which will give him the powers of the ruler class. So wait for a second. So, Izuku's training at the morning, as his mother says this. Hey, Izuku. Izuku says this. What is it, mother? As she says this. You're going to be starting off the ritual tonight. I hope you get ready. Because the Holy Grail War is going to be traumatizing. Well, traumatizing. Izuku says this. Don't worry. Besides, I'm a part of the most powerful family of Germany. In fact, we're technically the most powerful, well, mage family ever. Actually, that's quite correct. Because, well, their family is actually like basically like the council or the like Magecrafts Association. Apparently, the original association of like Magecraft, they were killed during the Fifth Holy Grail War. So, their family becomes, well, the brand new association. So, they're basically the most powerful like Magecraft family ever. And so many people tried to, so many families, and I mean so many of them, like, try to marry into that family because of all of the power and the influence. So, when it's finally nighttime, Izuku was getting ready to summon his servants because their family have the ability, or at least the, well, resources to summon out the servant. Unlike others, most of the other people, well, use the power of the classes. Like for example, the saber class, because, well, most people don't have enough power or, well, influence to basically get some artifacts or even make the ritual itself. So yeah, they're basically, Izuku's family basically has the authority and the ability to take away, well, artifacts. I meant artifacts so they can create servants. So, Izuku was sitting in the middle of the circle, getting ready to gain the power of the ruler class. During in the ritual, or at least in the middle of the ritual, they were attacked. One of the guards, which was a homunculus, says this: "We're being under attacked by the Alistair family." As Izuku says this. Wait, what? As one of them being his, well, grandmother says this. Don't stay in the circle. As Izuku's mother, Inko, says this. Don't worry, I'll do this. As for, well, Izuku's father, he says this. Don't worry, I got this. So, Izuku sees that his mother, Inko, wields a large staff, while for his father, he uses a large broadsword. So he starts going out of the room, while for his grandmother, she's still, well, doing the ritual. During the ritual, well, something else happens. While in the ritual, Izuku hears a scream as Izuku opens his eyes and sees the most horrifying thing ever. Izuku sees his mother's head and also his father's head, and the one that's holding it. I meant holding the heads of like and Izuku's, well, mother and father's heads is Hans. As Hans says this. I'm sorry, Izuku. Izuku throws her heads as Izuku says this. What are you doing? No! As he says this. Sorry, it's my family. They told me to do this. He slices off the head of Izuku's grandmother as he says this. I'm sorry, Izuku, but my family told me to do this. So, please forgive me. Izuku sees that, well, Hans is already finished the ritual. So, now Hans represents the Saber class. He's wielding Excalibur, also known as the blade that King Arthur uses. Or Arturia if you want to go for like Fate Stay Night or any of like the animes that like Shiro was in. Not Shiro Amakusa from like Fate Apocrypha. So, he wields the blade and slices off the hand of Izuku. Izuku screams as he says this. I'm sorry, brother in arms. As Izuku, dying of blood loss, feels hatred. Izuku sees that the place is burning down to the ground. Izuku, looking outside, seeing his so-called brother in arms with his family, as one of them being his father says this. Goodbye, you pathetic fool. The so-called most powerful family ever. The last remaining of the Ironheart family is finally gonna be killed. That means we're gonna be the most powerful family ever. It's gonna be quite an honor becoming the most powerful family ever. Unlike you, who wielded that power for several years. Anyway, I'll be leaving. Come on, let's go. So, while the place is burning down, Izuku felt hatred. Hatred towards his so-called brother-in-arms and his family. Izuku doesn't have the strength to basically get out of this situation. Izuku falls into slumber as Izuku sees something. As Izuku says this. Who are you? As the creature says this. I am your hatred. You seek vengeance, right? Well then, wield my power, and you will gain revenge for your family's death. You wield the so-called power of the ruler Well then, gain the power of the Avenger. Izuku accepts. Izuku wakes up. Izuku sees that the entire mansion was burned down to the ground. The ritual, the circle, was almost destroyed. But Izuku can still salvage it. Izuku's arm is basically gone. His hair was almost cut, but still long enough. Izuku has pretty long hair because he wants to let it down. So, Izuku gets out of there and sees his hand to check out the crest. But the crest is different. Unlike the normal crest usually the people that usually wield it, that usually wield the ruler class, is different. One side looks like a jester that's happy. The side with wings, similar to the, well, crest that most users of the ruler class wielded. And on top of that, it wields a crown. His crest, by the way. The other side seems to be a skull with sharp teeth and several horns. And the bottom of the crest has a chain. So, Izuku says this. So, this is the power of the ruler and the avenger. Izuku laughs. Izuku says this. I will get my revenge. I feel so much hatred for the Alistair family. It's their fault for killing my parents. For killing my family. They should all burn. Burn in hell. As the circle activates again, Izuku says this. Izuku sees that the summoning circle starts changing. It transforms into a summoning circle that summons heroic spirits. So, after that, you know what Izuku sees? Izuku sees 4 individuals, or 5, if you want to count. Well, let's watch this. Or at least hear this, because you can't watch it. So, Izuku sees a man. The man looks like a man from the Victorian era. He seems to have several different types of magnifying glasses all over him, mostly on the back. The other person, or you want to call him that, it seems to be a man riding a large wolf. But Izuku sees something a little bit interesting. He has no head. He also wielded weird looking swords. And the final 2 were pretty much the same, but with few minor differences. The first person was wielding, well, not wielding, more like wearing. The first person was wielding a armor, all pure white, while the other, that looks similar to her, has black armor. And you know what happened? One of them has like almost pure blonde hair, similar to Izuku's, but the other one has pure white hair, white as snow. The other one has blue eyes, and the other one has yellowish golden eyes. One of their flags looks angelic and almost French. The other one seems to have like a dragon symbol ablazoned on her, well, flag. Izuku says this. So I'm guessing you're my servants. As one of them said this. Yes, You can call me Joan the Arc, as the other girl that looks similar to her says this. Hey, I'm supposed to be Joan the Arc. Who the hell are you, you copycat? As she says this. Oh, it seems that we're in some sort of, well, weird looking Holy Grail war. As the other person with the several magnifying glasses says this. Yeah, quite a interesting dilemma. Anyway, I never told you my name. My name is Sherlock Holmes. As the wolf opens his mouth, as he says this, my name is Henshin Lobo. So, I'm guessing you're my master. It's nice to meet you, as he bows. Izuku says this. So, how about you, the one that's riding this wolf, that's able to talk, which is not normal at all. So, what's her name? He never spoke. He never speaks. As he says this. Oh, he prefers not to talk, mostly because he doesn't have a head. Izuku says this. Okay, Mr. Henshin, or Lobo, what do I call you? As he says this. You can address me whenever you want. But I prefer to be called Lobo. Izuku says this. Okay, Lobo. As she says this. Joan the Arc, by the way. Joan says this. So, I'm guessing you're the representative of this, well, ruler class. Izuku says this. Yes. As, well, Sherlock says this. Are you sure about that? He seems to have, well, he seems to have two different crests, but also combined? As one of them being the Joan the Arc with the black armor says this. I sense hatred in you. So, you seek revenge? It sounds like me. So, what is this revenge that you seek? Izuku says this. Revenge for my family's death. As she says this. Really? So you seek for your revenge for your family's death? Well then, let us feel the hatred. Let hatred feel your soul. Let your enemies feel your hatred and make them burn for their sins. She laughs as Joan the Arc says this. Alright, so where should we go? Because this place seems to be in ashes. Burn the ground. I meant burn to the ground. Izuku says this. I think I have enough money so we can go to Japan. As she says this. Joan the Arc, by the way. Joan the Arc says this. Move to Japan? Oh yeah. I heard that there's going to be a grow war over there. Izuku says this. Yes. Alright. Let's all leave. But all of you must change into, well, civilian clothes. As they say this. Sure. Henshin Lobo disappears. Izuku says this. Lobo, where are you? As Lobo says this. Don't worry. I'm in your head. Actually, more like in a pocket dimension. I'm able, and also others are able to basically transport into this, well, pocket dimension, if you so please. Izuku says this. Oh, okay. Anyway, as Izuku sees the dead bodies, or at least what's left of, well, Izuku's parents, Inko, and, well, Izuku's father, Izuku buries them. Izuku was crying. As Joan the Arc, the one with the white, well, actually, I should just call Joan the Arc, and, well, the black version, Jolter. Okay? Good. So, Izuku says this. My parents are killed. As well, Joan says this. Are you okay, Izuku? Izuku says this. Oh, hey, Joan the Arc. As she says this. Don't worry. God's light can bring him to, well, heaven. Don't worry about that. As Jolter says this. Oh, whatever, let's go. Izuku says this. Whoa, your, well, attire seems quite nice. As Jolter says this. Whatever. As for Sherlock, he says this. Alright, let's go. So, Izuku starts bringing them to the airport as they move away to Japan. It's going to be a long flight, but it's going to be all worth it. Or at least towards Izuku because, well, Izuku heard that, well, actually, Izuku gone back to his school and was informed that, well, Hans moved to Japan so he can pursue the other members or participants of the Holy Grail War. So, yeah, wait for a second. So, Izuku's in the airport while Joan and Jolter were basically sleeping, and well, for Sherlock, he's actually reading the newspaper, which was filled with several puzzles, which he was interested in. After all, he is a detective back in his, well, prime. So, Izuku was, well, staying up, looking at the ceiling, thinking of why he did that, why Hans killed his parents. But Izuku represented now not only the ruler class, but the Avenger class. Izuku felt hatred towards him. Not only that, Izuku's able to wield, Jolter's, ability to use fire, so Izuku's able to create flames of hatred, which burn hotter and darker whenever Izuku hates a person. So, because of Izuku's hatred towards, not his family, I mean, Hans' family, the flames are burning like the sun, basically. So, because of that, Izuku wants to kill him if it's the last thing he does. No matter what the cost, Izuku will get the Holy Grail, and when he gets it, he will revive his family and take his revenge on the people who killed them. So, yeah, that will be the end of the episode. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!